A few weeks ago, I discussed how the mantra, listen to the experts, is a complete fraud. They mean listen to the approved narrative. How do we know? Well, there's a simple test. Just provide an expert who dares question conventional wisdom and we'll see what survives. Respect for the expertise or commitment to the predetermined perspective. If the expertise is the top priority, well then those screeching listen to the experts should gladly do just that. But if the message is the top priority, well then listen to the experts weirdly morphs into defame the experts, discredit the experts, malign the experts, even censor the experts. It is not listen to the experts. It is listen to the narrative. YouTube CEO Susan Wiki confirmed her commitment to narrative over study and debate last week, appearing on Brian Stelter's CNN show, saying that any challenge to World Health Organization recommendations can get a video removed.
Talk about that as raising authoritative information. But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
Which creates a weird paradox. The World Health Organization contradicts the World Health Organization. When the WHO corrected its prior false information about no human-to-human transmission of coronavirus, was that a bannable offense? After all, correcting the record did refute WHO claims. And by the way, how did we get to the truth on that one? Was it by challenging WHO claims with evidence? If so, why would we ban that same thing now? And what do you do about government officials who dare defy the WHO gods? The WHO currently recommends against mask wearing for healthy people, but jurisdictions across the country are mandating it. Is LA Mayor Eric Garcetti banned from YouTube, or is he still free to tempt snitches with his yet-to-be-disclosed rewards? The president routinely undermines the World Health Organization.
Well, they've been wrong about a lot of things. They seem to be very China-centric.
If saying that isn't okay for the little guy with the tiny YouTube channel he just started yesterday, why is it okay for the president who represents him? There is no coherence here. The deference to the so-called authoritative sources sounds nice, but the secret is even the authority is routinely wrong. Nobody is always right. The only reliable way we can arrive at the truth is to let the battle of ideas happen freely and to trust that the best ones will survive. And yes, it's messy. Yes, it's even scary when information quality can have life or death consequences. But what's scarier still is enforcing the dead wrong idea with an iron fist. That is the way to ensure that we're all screwed, instead of letting the individual determine his own destiny through his own best judgment. All of that is the context for why I suspect Susan removed a viral video of two California physicians who run an urgent care clinic in Bakersfield, Drs. Dan Erickson and Artin Masihi. They held a press conference last week with local news stations explaining their interpretations of current coronavirus data and their views that the current danger is comparable to the flu.
We're going to compare this to flu and say, is this significantly different from influenza A and B? And if not, why has our response been what it is? Is the flu less dangerous than COVID? Let's look at the death rates. No, it's not. They're similar in prevalence and in death rate.
That these stay-at-home orders are not only ineffective.
When we look at people that have locked down and people that haven't locked down, we have massive data. It is not statistically significant whether you lock down or not. So why are we doing it?
But actually counterproductive because they weaken our immune systems.
You say, go into your house. Clean all your counters, wear a mask, don't go outside. We develop an immune response daily to this stuff. When you take that away from me, my immune system drops. As I shelter in place, my immune system drops. You keep me there for months, it drops more.
Add these factors together and these doctors say it's time to stop trivializing our liberties.
If you're gonna dance on someone's constitutional rights, you better have a good reason. You better have a really good scientific reason and not just theory.
And it's time to get back to work.
The data is showing us it's time to lift. So if we don't lift, what is the reason?
As always, I don't present these dissident doctors as the unquestionable truth. They're not my own Susan Wiki authoritative sources. I do have some questions about their statistical extrapolations, but that's beside the point. The point is, it is not listen and believe. It is listen and question. It is listen and compare and contrast to other expert opinions. It is listen and decide for yourself. And the irony is, that's exactly what these doctors are saying. They are not trying to supplant the authority.
Do you think that you guys know more than the top immunologist in the entire United States?
I'm sharing the data. I'm not
Right,
saying
but
we're right, somebody's wrong.
Dr. Fauci is a world-renowned immunologist, and a lot of the data that they originally gave us was theoretical.
They're just trying to provide their own perspective. And for that, they earned a very impressive 5 million plus views on the original YouTube post of this press conference, millions more views across posts on Facebook and other platforms. Also for that, they earned Susan's banhammer. Sometime Monday night, the original multi-million view post of this press conference on YouTube was taken down for supposed community guidelines violation. Click on the policy here, and I don't see where it says the wrong opinions of how best to navigate the current viral outbreak are violations. But one would speculate this is an extension of Susan's new policy against defying the experts. Even if you're an expert, only Susan gets to pick which experts count. And the experts who do count made their opinion known in very coincidental timing with the removal of this video. The first person I saw on Twitter to notice the video takedown was Daniel Horowitz over at Conservative Review. This was just after 8 p.m. my time. And funny, at 7:30, the American College of Emergency Physicians and the American Academy of Emergency Medicine issued a joint statement condemning the medical misinformation of Drs. Erickson and Masihi. Okay, fine. Condemn away. They're rebutting conventional wisdom. You're free to rebut them. What specifically are they wrong about? What specifically is the medical misinformation? You know what? Our intern couldn't be bothered to write that much. And it's much easier to smear and attribute malicious motive instead. These guys, they own their own urgent care clinics, so they're pursuing their own financial interests, and their data aren't even peer-reviewed. Okay, well, your claims here also aren't peer-reviewed, and if assumed ulterior motive automatically disqualifies perspective, why don't you go ahead and shut down that political action committee of yours that's spending millions of dollars per election cycle to further your interests, which are somehow totally different and legitimate, of course. And I don't even care what your motive is. Just treat me like an adult and give me reason and evidence, not hypocritical character assassination. If the case against these doctors is so obvious, please explain it. Unless, of course, you can't, or unless we're actually playing different games here. We're all looking to debate honestly and to find and evaluate evidence honestly, and you're actually just looking to deploy your Susan bomb to get everyone in line. We're playing a game for truth. You're playing a game for control. And I take no joy in that cynicism, but they demonstrate their thirst for control every single time against anybody who gets in the way. It's a crucial detail to notice in this story. Susan isn't just suppressing the experts who don't count. She's also suppressing the reporters who talk to them. The video of the press conference YouTube took down wasn't posted on the doctor's channel. It was posted on a local ABC station's channel, a channel for disseminating news. If you watch this press conference, and I recommend it, I'll post a ban-proof link in the description, you'll notice that the reporters present nearly unanimously challenge these doctors' claims. They ask tough questions, and the doctors respond. The doctors' claims aren't the only things that disappear with these video takedowns. Critical questions scrutinizing them also disappear. And so it's not just the so-called medical quackery that we're punishing. It's a free press asking questions about it. We're now punishing local news stations for bringing us varied perspectives to consider the issue and think for ourselves. And that is because every mantra these control freaks spin, from listen to the experts to follow the science, is simply code for the common denominator. It is code for don't think for yourself. It is code for shut up and do as you're told. Very interesting that those who claim to have your best interests at heart, your health, your security, your prosperity, have no respect for your most fundamental interest, to think for yourself and to make up your own mind. If they don't respect your first interest, they aren't looking out for your best interests. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter, that is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.